Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dream Team Tonic podcast, Game Week 5 preview. Obviously, we're mid-game week 4 at the minute with the European games to come. I'm Tony, as usual. Ben, are you there, mate?
How are you doing, mate?
Good evening. I've had better weeks on Dream Team, getting spanked off Haaland again, but, we live and don't learn. Obviously, Scott's away at a wedding, so it's just the two of us tonight. I've got an angry baby in there, so let's get straight into the team. Straight into the teams, mate. Go through yours first, pal.
Yeah, let's pull it up. I've got 79 points so far. Brought Martinez in for these few double game weeks. Nil point for Martinez. Took out Hermanson. On the we had a Q&A during the week last week, and I was thinking about bringing Muric in as an enabler, dropping the money down from Hermanson, so be getting 0.6, and then saving that money for Game Week 5, possibly bringing in a Foden or something. But I thought the amount of money I'm making on this team over the weeks, it's 5.5. What am I now? 55.1 value now. So I'm thinking that I think I've made enough money to upgrade my keeper now. So I've gone for Martinez. One game in, yeah, okay, conceded 2 goals, but I've still got young boys midweek. Trent, Liverpool, he took off the big hitters after 60 minutes, and then it spanked. It didn't work out, did it? Because he ended up losing the game. So, yeah, 3 points for Trent. But, yeah, AC Milan midweek. Robinson, another 6 points, a load of tackles and bonus points. So, yeah, good with that. Happy with that. Don't think he'll get the cup match with it being Preston away. But, yeah, I'm happy with that. Porro, another good score, 7 points, especially after losing 1-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah,
I'm not expecting to play Coventry, but, yeah, I'm happy with that. Saka, 8 points with the assist for the goal. Kamada got rested because he was away on international duty. I think he went to Kuwait versus obviously playing Japan. But it's the QPR match. I'm hoping he bangs in midweek. He did it in the cup against Norwich as well in the last round. Eze, 7 points. Not bad considering he didn't get any attacking returns. Got the bonus points. And, yeah, hopefully he plays in the cup. Diaz brought him in for the 0.3 rise. Got hooked after 60 minutes, but hit the post, didn't he? So close. And obviously got these next few game weeks. I'm hoping he plays the double game week next week as well, because with Liverpool having a hard League Cup game against West Ham, I'm hoping he plays the double next week. So I've got him in for the rise as well. And the foreseeable, Irogbenam, 2 points. Not bad considering how much he is now. He's gone up to 2.3. He's eventually going to be going. And hopefully get Southampton. Salah, only 4 points, but not bad considering he didn't score a goal or get an assist. And Captain Haaland, I was at my son's football match on Saturday morning, and I texted the group, any news on Haaland? And we were scrolling around looking for anything. And I found something, but it was right on the deadline saying that Haaland starts. So I banged him in. Obviously, he lost a close friend to the family, so he was possibly going to be missing the game. But he didn't miss the other 2 games when I think his agent died and his grandmother died, I think, was it?
Yeah, he got back-to-back hat-tricks that time, didn't he?
Yeah, so he ended up playing. So, yeah, bang the captaincy on him. But, yeah, I sent you the message. It was after the deadline, didn't I? Saying that Haaland starts.
Yeah, I can't remember what we're out doing. I don't know, but I didn't have a chance to have a scrape around looking for anything. And then when I seen that, I'm like, oh, shit. I thought this. I mean, again, it's hindsight. I didn't see anything before the deadline, so with it being a doubt, I thought Salah home to Notts Forest isn't a bad shout anyway. As it's just Captain Haaland or we're at half time, aren't we? Salah will go midweek and Haaland could blank. Here's hoping.
And I used the booster. I put 12th man on Kevin De Bruyne, and he got 2 points so far. I was watching the highlights and I was thinking, that's a De Bruyne assist in it for the first.
Yeah, it did come up as a De Bruyne assist as well.
No, he didn't touch it, did he? The defender kicked it away from De Bruyne, and it bounced off another defender and then landed at Haaland, and he knocked it in. So yeah, De Bruyne, 2 points. 2 home matches, and obviously at this stage of the game, you haven't got the funds to bring in a De Bruyne yet. So I thought this is a good chance to bring in Big Hitter, try and push me up further up the leaderboard. So far, it's not worked out, but we've still got Inter Milan midweek, so could change.
That's it. Still halfway. You have got previous with 12-man chips, haven't you? Was it Nunes last year? Was it?
No, I was on Alvarez last year.
Alvarez, sorry.
One
of the lads were on Nunes.
I think he started one game, got took off early, so you're thinking happy days, he'll play the Champions League game, and he never started the Champions League game.
Yeah. Not great. Hopefully it pays off for you, mate. Just a shout out to a few people in the chat. Evening, Graham, Gary, Nathan, C-Tobs, Gaz Paul, and DG Bournemouth. Good evening. We are live to the patrons. If you want a patron and you're listening on YouTube later on in the week, get yourself over to patreon.com/Dream Team Tonic and get involved. I'm not enjoying this week so far. The Haaland cost me last week. That bit of news, I didn't want to get caught out by Haaland being rested and only playing once, and then Salah banging against Forest. So I went for Salah. Like I say, we are only halfway, so I'm keeping everything crossed. My 2 transfers this week. Diaz, I fancied him last week before the United game, but the way it worked out, I ended up going for him this week. Only the 3 points. I brought him in for Palmer. Just not having the best of luck at the minute with that. Obviously, they moved the cup game, and then he's not in the European squad. I mean, there's 2 massive banana skins that just turned up from nowhere.
Exactly. If you knew that he wasn't going to be in the European squad, you would have probably gone straight to Diaz, wouldn't you?
Straight to Diaz. And I've had his haul last week. So, but again, we don't know. So it's one of them. Can't regret it too much. But just on wrong end of that one. So Palmer out, Diaz in. But it did release the funds then for me to upgrade my keeper from a non-playing keeper to Martinez on 0 points. But I've got a keeper and he's got plenty of doubles, and hopefully that stays. He can stay there for the rest of the season now. Robinson, nice 6 points. We spoke about him before it started the season. He's just a steady 6. Unfortunately, didn't get the clean sheet. Another bit of a bummer there. Same with Trent losing the clean sheet. Both of them losing clean sheets late on. Vardio not even starting the game, coming on at half time. It's just not been my week. Diaz, we just touched on that, 3 points. Mitoma, 5 points. Could have had a goal, but weren't to be. Kamada, obviously, only getting a few minutes. Hopefully he gets that game in midweek against QPR. Saka didn't really do a lot today. Did quite quiet. Obviously, Arsenal sat back quite a lot in that game, but 8 points, I'd take that from a tricky fixture for him. Rodgers, how the hell he didn't score a couple, I do not know. Just a story of the week. Salah, 4 points, double to 8, and Haaland, 18. In hindsight, obviously, Max captain could have been good this week, especially with the Haaland news. but I didn't want to play a booster early.
Yeah.
I just want to hold him for a little bit, see what happens around me, try and catch up a little bit. I think I'm going to take a few punts going forward in the next couple of weeks to try and. I did fancy Pedro, and I'm glad I didn't go Pedro. The things that stopped me doing that was getting McCarthy out, because otherwise I really, really did fancy him, and he didn't even make squad, did he?
Yeah, he was your differential, wasn't he, as well this week?
Yeah. So that shows how bad my week's gone. I can't even pick a differential that plays. So yeah, not the greatest of weeks. 59, 20 less than you. Obviously, you played the 12 man and captain Haaland, so it could have been worse. 20 points isn't that big of a hit, and we are 50% through, but yeah, not the greatest. I think I'm down at about 45k or something, although it can change very quickly. So straight in to the questions. One for Professor, although he's not here. Wadey, can Professor give his top tips of who's hauling next week? He has a real finesse for it. Is he? I don't know whether there's sarcasm in there, or is he regarding the Watkins pick?
Yeah, he picked Watkins as his differential, didn't he, in the article?
Yeah, I know you were mentioning on the last pod getting him in this week before he does well, and everyone jumps on the bandwagon next week. So, yeah, good call there. Obviously, Watkins do his confidence a world of good. Duran, though, come on, did you see that? Put that bullet in top corner.
Unbelievable! What a goal!
He's unreal, isn't he? He's for a player, a striker that doesn't play. Obviously, got the number 9 shirt there, but he's finding it tough to fit into the system if Watkins is playing. I think Emery's got to find a way of playing both of them.
He's not played more than 29 minutes in a game this season. He's got 3 goals.
It's mental. It looks so good. It'd be interesting to see how much damage you could do playing 80 or 90 minutes in a game. But so decent pick there from the Professor. Again, touching on it on the last pod as well. He's got the shout right, because I think there is going to be a clamour for Watkins in this next game week. Conk next up is Duran Essential. See, lovely goal. It'd be nice to see him get some minutes. But he's a cracking player. And do Dean Henderson only stick a twist to Muric for a bit of budget? What do you reckon about that, Ben? You were toying with Muric for budget yourself?
Yeah. Regarding the first question, Duran, I think could be a good 1 week punt. Obviously, he might only get, like, say, 29 minutes. Like, that's the most he's got in the Premier League so far. But he can score goals. But then it's that Wickham game in the Cup next week. So he could play the full 90 in that one. And imagine if he gets the full 90 and he gets a couple of goals at least. That'd be a nice differential. But it's probably if he scores again, like, what you going to do? He's got to get him in the team, hasn't he, surely? Somehow. Watkins used to play. I know he doesn't want to play there now, but he used to play as a wide forward, didn't he? He used to play as a left-sided forward, cutting inside and that, when he played for Brentford and when he first moved to Aston Villa. But if it's going to get your best players on the pitch, I don't mind. If you want to play 4-3-3, playing Watkins as a left-sided forward and playing Duran through the middle. But it could be a good differential for game week 5, and then they've got Ipswich and Bayern Munich in game week 6. So if he does bang a hat trick against Wickham, he's got to keep him in the side, surely. And you'll get the price rise off him. He might get young boys on Tuesday. Tuesday play, don't he? Early kickoff. So he might get some more points this week, and it could be on for a 0.3. And the second question, Henderson's got a couple of singles now. Obviously, he probably will play in the Cup midweek, which is good for Henderson owners. He's got Man United at home and Everton away. I mean, it's not bad, but he's 2.6 now. If you're struggling for funds, it's a good idea to drop down to Muric. Muric is 1.7 million, due a 0.3 rise now, and he's playing Southampton next week. so Southampton away and then Villa at home in game week 6. So you get a price rise out of him, and you might be able to get yourself to a big hitter in midfield or something. Might enable you a Foden, because Foden's knocking on the door now, is getting back. So might get a run out in the cup against Watford. Possibly play the Arsenal and the Watford double next week.
Yeah,
he might start midweek as well, Foden. So obviously you get more information during the week now. That's the great thing about Dream Team. You get 2 games a week. So it's interesting. I probably would be looking at doing something like that with Henderson, or go straight to Emi Martinez, 3.6 million, or Onana, who played the European games last year, didn't he? He's 3.9. He went down and he just scored 11 points. So if he does well again midweek, if he plays or if he doesn't play, then he's definitely going up. They've got Barnsley midweek in the cup, so could be the way to go.
Yeah, I think you know what I'm like with keepers. I don't like moving them on or buggering around with them. To be honest, if you've got Dean Henderson, I pretty much just stick with him. But if you are after budget, I mean, the drop to Muric isn't that's the way to go. If you are desperate for a bit of budget to, like you say, get a Foden or a De Bruyne, you need that extra million or so. Then yeah, that is the move. But yeah, I mean, if it's not essential for you to do it, if you don't really need the budget and you're just doing it to top your bank up, I'd just leave it. But next question, Charlie Chine. Don't mention the last 60 minutes of the United winning your rant, Tony. Just the first 30 will do. God. I mean, I think we've got a few questions leading on to a few United players coming up. And I mean, Onana saved that penalty, great penalty save, by the way. But again, they were all over the place, United, really. Obviously, come away with a 3-0 win. It's funny, like he says, but I did only really watch the first 45 because then I was on my way to Rovers, so I can't really judge the last 45. So you dropping in comments, Charlie. How did you play? Are you back to you're going to win the league and the Champions League double and Ten Hag's God, or what? No, it didn't look great for United again. But yeah, it's come to expect it at the minute. But a nice 3-0 win. Graham, does KDB's 2-pointer take him off your radar? Ben?
Obviously, no, he stays on the radar, but the reason why I put him in for 12th man, especially, is because I don't want him for game week 5, really, because I can't see him playing the Watford match, and he might play Arsenal, which he has done well against Arsenal in the past. But yeah, I thought this is a good little way to get a 12th man in, expensive player, so I brought him in for it, and I'm still hopeful that he'll do something against Inter Milan anyway. But yeah, I wouldn't be bringing him in for the game week 5 double because I don't think he'll play the double against Watford.
Yeah.
And then you've got Slovan Bratislava in game week 6. Can you see him playing that one away?
It's tricky, isn't it? It's so tricky. I mean, we've just seen what's happened with Vardio getting dropped and obviously making space for Walker to come into the team. Didn't want to drop Lewis, which is understandable. I think we touched on that. It'd be really harsh to drop Lewis. But then he got hooked at half-time anyway. Yeah, I think with the games that are coming up with the European games, I think he could probably afford to chop and change and go a lot stronger in the Premier League and probably still win them games with making 3, 4, 5 changes. Which isn't great for us when we're trying to put doublers in.
Yeah. Yeah, so I probably won't be bringing him in now. Excuse me.
There is he. You're going again.
And until maybe game week 7. Fulham at home before the international break. Another one.
Oh, honestly. Just taking it. Hate international breaks. Yeah, he's definitely not. He's one of these players that can bang at any point. Arsenal, I think if they do much of what they did today at Spurs, at City, it's going to be quite a tight game. Yeah, you can't fancy De Bruyne for that double, really. He don't go off the radar. He could get a 2-pointer this week and a 20-pointer next week, average at 11. He's one of those players, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Haaland having a bad game and then taking him out after he's done nothing but get a 2-pointer. Right, on to Conk. How do you deal? Hey, this is fitting for this week, isn't it? How do you deal with having a horrible game week and what cheers you up? Do you know? Like I love Dream Team, and if I have a great week, it does make my weekend. It is pretty much like that. Like when I remember being young and growing up with Rovers and watching Rovers, and it made or break my weekend. Like it could ruin my mood for days, or it could put me on cloud 9 for days. Dream Team does have the ability to do that, but obviously being a family man and having other things to occupy me, like obviously coaching my son's team at the weekend, watching him score today were great. And obviously since the newborn, I got me and my little girl and my little lad all season tickets at Rovers this year, so I can get back to Rovers. But having a newborn when the season started, I've missed the first 2 home games, but I managed to get back there on Saturday, and they were brilliant. I loved every minute of it, and it was good to share it with them. So I have had a good weekend. Other than Dream Team, I've had a cracking weekend, so I am in a good mood anyway. It's just things like that you got to weigh it up. You're not going to have a crap week every week. Do the right things. Just keep going.
Yeah, I agree pretty much with that, but just don't take it too seriously. Like it's just a game at the end of the day. I mean, yeah, it's annoying when your players don't do well. Like you didn't expect Liverpool to get beaten by Forest. You just got to laugh at it. Can't cry about it. Life goes on.
Yeah.
Got to be positive.
Yeah, I haven't spoke to James since that defeat, but yeah, see what he has to say about that. It's a strange one because Liverpool look really good. They look good going forward. So much so, obviously, putting quite a bit of money in my team into Salah, Diaz, Trent. Yeah, one of them just shock results, and it just comes from nowhere. And yeah, fair play to Forest with a clean sheet. I think in my fan teams and everything else, I benched their keeper as well, Sells. So he sat there with like 8 or 9 points. But yeah, just one of those games. When you have a crap week, just look to something else.
I think Scott's still got Sells in goal.
Has he?
Yeah.
That's a cracking little haul, that is.
And he was going to bring in Martinez.
Yeah, for a 0-pointer.
Yeah, so far.
That's what you get. Sometimes you get lucky when you go to a wedding, don't you, and go off kilter. Right, Nathan Reeve, 24, should Dillett be considered now after his haul today? European defender looks to be first choice, currently 2.9 million. Now I know I've chuckled a little bit there. There were a couple of unbelievable challenges Dillett made that I seen early on in the game. I think he had an absolute nightmare in the international break, because even told him something like he won't play for Holland again, some crap like that I read. Had a bit of a stinker and hooked off, but yeah, from what I've seen from him early doors, he did play really well. I don't fancy United at the minute. Like last season, there's going to be a point where they come good. They've got too much quality within the side to not come good. Dillett, European player, 2.9 million. He's a punt, I think, still. But as an enabler with European games, you can't go much wrong with it. you're going to have the quantity of fixtures, definitely. It's down to how United play, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, without a penalty save, Onana, De Ligt, Masraoui, as he called, I mean, he's looked good as well. I mean, they don't hold, do they? And we're all talking about, they're going down in price again. But
yeah. Well, he went down 0.3 last week, De Ligt. That's why he's 2.9. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm a bit weary about picking Europa players, especially like big signings like that. Will he play in the Europa League? Will he get rested? I'm not sure. So it's a wait and see for me. I mean, if you're desperate for funds and you want a price rise player, you can't argue with that. It's got Palace away next week, which ain't an easy fixture. But and then it's 20 in the Europa League, and then Tottenham at home and Porto away, which is a tricky double the week after. So if you're desperate and you want someone cheap, I don't mind it. But yeah, it's probably not on my shopping list at the minute.
yeah, it's not the easiest fixture without Jamie Vardy, is it?
Yeah, loves scoring against Palace, doesn't he? I think he just loves scoring against anyone. Just takes the mickey out of everyone, doesn't he?
He's on it again, isn't he? He's on it. Right. More questions. C-Tobs, Son or Bruno captain? This is for game week 5. Obviously, United have got Crystal Palace and FC 20. And Spurs have Brentford and Qarabag. Do you know what? I like the look of Spurs today. I know, obviously, they've been beat and it's not the greatest result for them, but they look good in parts. I like Solanke. If they can keep him fit, he's going to be a real player for them. It's good to see him in like quite a fluid attacking side that play on the front foot, got most possession of the ball. Because obviously, when they were at Bournemouth, no disrespect to them, but obviously you didn't see the quality as much because obviously they're not on the front foot as much or have as much possession. So, I think Solanke's going to be a real handful in every game as long as he stays fit. Son or Bruno, if they're both in your team, C-Tobs, I would go Son. Just because I think they're playing better than United. What do you do, Ben?
I mean, between the two of them, if I had to pick one out of the two, I'd probably go Son. Just because I think, obviously, Tottenham are at home against Brentford and Man United have a tricky away game against Crystal Palace. So I think, but if I'm looking at it as a single game, because they're not guaranteed to play in this Europa.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think the Brentford fixture is better than the Palace away fixture. And then they've got the Qarabag, which is a better fixture than the 20 fixture, I would imagine. Don't know too much about Qarabag. So if I had to pick out the two, definitely Son for this game week.
Yep, unanimous there. Aman, goalkeeper, get Onana or Martinez or a weekly double, or go budget Muric for the singles. It's all down to what you need, isn't it, Aman? If you need the budget, you've got your eyes on one of the big hitters and you need that bit of extra money, then Muric is a decent option to drop to and just take singles each week for him. But if you can get one of them European keepers, Onana or Martinez, and still get the players that you want up top without compromising that, then you've got to go for the Euros and the doubles, haven't you? Do you reckon, Ben?
Yeah. Well, I believe Aman's got quite a big budget anyway. He's the master of building budget.
He always does, doesn't he?
Yeah. So I believe he'll have enough budget to get Martinez in and still get a good team together. Because I was looking at this exact same thing, and I was adamant I was getting Muric in the middle of the international break, but changed my mind having looked at the potential rises in my team. And like I said, I'm 55.1 million now in value in the space of 4 game weeks. So I think you can make the money in price rises if you're doing well. But if you're not got the value in your team, then cheap goalkeeper in goal and put the rest of your money into outfield players.
Yeah. Yep, agree. Aman, again, worth doing, bringing in Son for game week 5 for captaincy, and then moving him to Watkins for game week 6. I mean, I like Watkins fixtures. Game week 5, obviously, he might not get the cup game. You'd expect Duran probably to start, so maybe that's where the thinking comes in. But then, can you guarantee Son gets both, as we just touched on? I think they've both got a decent single. Game week 5. Game week 6, obviously Spurs have United, and Villa have Ipswich. So I think I'd probably just do the move straight to Watkins and just have him for both and save the other transfer for something else that might pop up. But they've both got a decent fixture in game week 5, and there's probably more chance Son gets that double.
Yeah,
it's how you want to play it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting next week because I cannot see Haaland playing that double against, especially Watford at home in the cup. But you never know. Pep might just throw him in for 30 minutes and could get a couple of goals. So it's a tricky one with the Carabao Cup mixed in with the Europa League games. So it's obviously team dependent. If you've got no other fires to put out in your team, then you want to do it, go for it. But something always comes up the week after, and you need free transfers, and you're like, I should have just done that transfer the week before. So it's I don't know which is right really. Obviously, I think Son's fixtures are better for game week 5, but we don't know if he's going to play both games. Wolves at home for Villa, bit of a derby, could be a bit of a tough match for them really. But Villa at home are pretty good, aren't they? Pretty attacking. So I'm not too sure, to tell you the truth. But if you want Watkins longer term, I don't mind just bringing him in, and you're getting the price rise as well. What was it, 18 points? So
yeah,
and obviously he's got another game yet, so he might even get more.
Yeah. Or what I'd give for 18 points. Right. Grommers. Evening, Grommers. Do you keep bonus points magnets like Eze and Robinson even without the European fixtures, or ideally target a full 11 who will play in Europe? I am trying to target Europe. Just going to quickly get my team up here. So next week, when it hits, I've got 3 players that have singles, which is Kamada, Matoma, and Robinson. Now, out of the 3, I can only make 2 transfers. Robinson may be the one that survives, because he's so good for points. Like I say, he's a bonus magnet, so I think that's going to save him in my team. Eze, I mean, he's not done anything this weekend, has he? But he comes out with 7 points. I wouldn't. I'd target the doublers. Let's be honest, because you always see what to play and maximise the amount of points you can get. There's a massive doubt over, especially game week 5, over the doublers. There really is. So if there was to be a week where you held back and just kept the singlers, like Eze and Robinson, it would be game week 5. Because I can't see too many playing. Like you say, you touched on Haaland. You've got Arsenal. Surely there's going to be changes in Arsenal lineup against Bolton. Liverpool, West Ham. I think Liverpool will probably go strong because obviously West Ham will go strong, and they won't want a bit of a hiding off them. You've got Chelsea against Barrow, and Chelsea have a squad of, I know it's been discussed in the Discord, of 41, was it?
Yeah.
But they have loaned 11 of them out or something like that. But they've got a massive, massive squad, Chelsea still. So you'd expect all their players to be rotated. Newcastle, Wimbledon, there's no... The only one, obviously, touching back to the Fernandes, the Bruno captain shout from C-Tobs, is United can't afford bad results, can they? I think Ten Hag feels the pressure. I know he's just signed a new contract, but with the way the season started, obviously they got the win against Southampton, which took a little bit of pressure off. They've got Barnes in the cup, but he needs to do well in these competitions because he knows they're probably not good enough to go and win a league. So the cup competition is where it's at for United. So possibly United go strong in that Europa. That's the only thing you can. And would you think Spurs is a bit of the same? Because did Ange not say something about winning a trophy? And this season he'll win a trophy, something like that.
The thing is, they've got each other on the week after, haven't they? Man United and Tottenham. So that's like I can't see them going too heavy just because in case they get an injury and they want to win that match against each other, don't they? Because Tottenham's playing at home Man United's playing at home against Tottenham. So that'll be a massive game.
Yeah, I'm just thinking with them two, do we think, obviously, there's massive pressure at Spurs to win a trophy. Always has been. And obviously, it's a little bit like Newcastle. It's getting to a point where it's getting quite a while again. And United, Ten Hag, even though, again, signed a contract, but he's still playing for his future, it seems, as they don't... We're just so used to United over the years when I was growing up, just blowing teams away and being good. And obviously their fans kind of expect that. I just think, I think they might both go strong. Having looked at it and now talked myself into it, I think, United and Spurs are probably the best double options.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've got Eze and Robinson in my team, and they'll probably be the last ones I would want to get rid of if I had to, but they're probably the two most expensive ones as well. Because I've got Irobinam and I've got Kamada as well, so I might need to shift them on a bit earlier, just because of the value that they're built up to getting a double game week player. So you ideally do want a full 11 of doubling European players, and I mean, you might want to target someone in those Europa League games that play for like United and Tottenham, but are not like indispensable players like your Bruno Fernandes, your Sons, maybe someone like a Kulusevski, a Johnson, a Garnacho, someone like that, who will play both games, who are not like the main men in the team. You might just someone like that who's even Madueke might get the Barrow double against West Ham, and Barrow could be a good doubler. So I think there might be someone cheap this week that you could pull in and you might get a double game week out of.
Yeah. Next question, Andy Barnett. Okay, so the last pod I put a simple one-dimensional keeper question in, and it didn't get noticed unless I was distracted listening to the pod and missed the answer. So this week I shall default to type. I'm pretty certain this is why Scott's not come on. You seen Andy Barnett's question, you were like, I'm going to miss. Right. Come on then, Andy. Let's have a do with this. 4 weeks gone. Lots of us are budget building, bringing in Euro players, etc. But a single result like Liverpool's yesterday or Man City's bench players can turn your plans upside down and can happen to any team. I currently have 3 non-Euro players I need to take out, but my Euro players look like they could go down in value at the moment, and I might want to prioritise budget over double game week players. So, is having 11 European players actually vital, or is there some merit of having 2 to 4 single game week players with easier fixtures that rise in value with a single easier game, or should I just ignore the potential price drops and carry on building my team up to 11 Champions League players? Gonna go with that, Ben. There's a lot in there.
Yeah, yeah, 3 non-European players. Yeah, I think you do still want to build your team towards ideally a Champions League team squad. I think, me personally, I'm thinking there's less likely going to be rotation in the Champions League. Obviously, City rotate depending on the fixture. If it's a really hard fixture, like they've got Inter Milan this week, I would imagine they'll go strong. But then the week in game week 6, they've got Slovan Bratislava, so they'll probably go a little bit weaker, drop the indispensable players, and give some other players a go. I wouldn't be too worried about you having a bad start to the week because you've still got the double game week. It could end up with all European players scoring well during the week. So, yeah, I would still build towards a full European squad. I haven't had a great week, but looking at your squad,
But
to be fair, you had this. I think it's the captain that's pulled you down.
It does. Yeah, it's cost, I think 14 points.
Yeah, but I don't think I've had a good week this week, but I've scored 79 points. So, but all the players that are in Europe haven't really done anything this week, but they've still got the European games come, so it could be a different story by Thursday. Yeah. So don't worry too much. I think keep building European team, mate. Double game weeks players all the way.
Yeah. Fixture maximisation.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're going to carry a couple, you want the likes of Eze, Robinson, people that just pick up points.
Yeah.
Not doing a lot really. They're very good on the matrix. So, but yeah, maximise those fixtures still, Andy. I know he's getting at. It could be harsh if you, like you say, you've had Vardio, could be going down 0.3. Rico Lewis could be going down 0.3. It could be disheartening when that deadline goes again next week. But again, we're only half time here, So let's see what occurs midweek. But cheers for the question, Andy. I do enjoy your questions. DT Patrick, is indeed it a good move or another trap as fixtures soon get tough and no doubles? I think you're lined up to answer this one, aren't you, Ben?
Indeed, he's a different player now, isn't he? Playmaking number 10. Nah, honestly, I would not go anywhere near Ndidi. I mean, yeah, he's cracked it this week. 11 points, 2 assists. What's he got? Big chances created, 3 big chances created, and 3 tackles. He loves to tackle because he obviously is a number 6 normally, but since last season he's been playing the sort of number 8 role, and then Cooper's been playing him as a number 10 recently, and he's got 2 assists this weekend. But I obviously single game week player, I wouldn't be going there. Like we've just been saying, it's European players all the way. Get them in. It's not like Ndidi's going to score 11 points every week. He probably might get 5 points every week with his tackles. He gets the odd goal in that. He played in the cup last round as well, and he got a goal. But I think it's too late. Well, actually, Leicester play in the cup next week, don't they? But it's a 1-game punt. I won't bother because it's just you're just booking transfers in, bringing players in that don't play in Europe. Do you know what I mean? So you could bring a Newcastle player in the next week. Okay, you might do all right, but then you're behind the curve, and you've got to sell that player to get a European player in the next week. So I wouldn't bother.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to touch on Ndidi because you've covered that quite well, but I don't mind having one player, as I did last season, so that you have one player that just bounce around and bring him in for a little double or a good fixture, and you just keep taking him in and out. It's fine to do that when you've no other fires, you've got the rest of your team built, and it's just basically every week. Well, I fancy this guy this week, as I did. Like I had Cunha, kudos. It didn't work one week where I put Jimenez in, who got a red card 10 minutes in. I did do that quite a lot, and obviously it worked out quite well if you can catch them on the right weeks. But yeah, if you've got other stuff to do, especially when you're trying to build your squad towards your European team, do that first. And then with these little punts, yeah, I'd probably just use one player. And
that was later in the season, though, wasn't it? When you've already built your team to European.
Yeah, I think it was I think it was midway. And I thought, I fancy this player. I obviously watch a hell of a lot of football, and you just like he could bang that week.
Yeah.
Got a decent fixture, and it paid off. It doesn't always, like say with the Jimenez one. Jesus Christ, yeah. I think I'm looking to see if he scored any points. I just clicked the fixture up, and it just said Jimenez red card, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to be a little bit brave to climb the league sometimes, but I don't think Ndidi is the way to go. Jacko has been on. How closely to follow league rivals this early? Oh no, Jacko. E.g., everyone else is moving on to Martinez, but I'm thinking on doing Muric. Definitely don't look into it. Just concentrate on your own game. That is way, way, way further down the line, Jacko. If you've got no fires and you're after building your European team, get Martinez in. If you need the budget, as we touched on earlier, go for Muric and get the player that you want in further up with that extra squad that you'll have. I'm sure you'll agree, Ben.
Yeah, I agree totally with you there.
Was that it? I thought there were another page of questions. Oh, there you go. Right, that's it all tidied up. So on to the cash leagues. I'm not in any danger of being on these. But yeah, if you want to give the cash league top three a read out, then.
Yep, I can't see
Can
it.
you see it? I just look at the same there. M. Fisher in third. Ammett in second. And Jesus, do you know what? I'm just going to get him up on here. How's that happened? Right, top three Dream Team Tonic Cash League. In third, M. Fisher. Second, A. Allett. And top of the shop, A. Hollingsworth. That's a new name. I've not seen that name before. Yeah, well played, mate. Top three of the Patreon-only Cash League is third, M. Tavares. Second, J. Mills. And top of the shop, Lee Giles. Oh, sorry, joint top, Lee Giles and J. Miles. That rhymes.
Giles and Miles.
Giles and Miles up the top, joint.
On top of the piles.
Don't talk to me about piles. Dream Team Tonic Tag Team League. I've just done the top three here because it was around with screenshots. So yeah, apologies if you are in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. You'll be up next week. In third, D. Lapham and Jay Newton. In second, Jay Bashford and D. Bream. Top of the shop, McNulty and Fergie. Started very well. Great start for OU 3, 6. Right. I mean, it's been quite a short one this week, but we are 50% of the way through. Next week's pod, I think Fergie's on in it. We got Fergie on next week.
Hopefully Fergie's on next Monday.
Yeah, hopefully he's been knocked off the top of there, so there's no gloating. So come on, lads, get some points this week. But yeah, be good to have Fergie on, former Dream Team Tonic champion. Thanks to all the patrons for the support you give us throughout the season. It is appreciated. You're a cracking bunch. If you haven't joined, if you're interested in joining, see what we have to offer across at patreon.com/Dream Team Tonic. If you're listening on YouTube, get yourself across, drop a like, and subscribe. I think we last week hit over 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for subscribing.
I mean, it's a massive feat. Obviously, we're going 4 years. Is this our fifth season? Fourth season. 4 years and a bit going. We like to think we've done all right. But yeah, keep going, keep sharing us, and thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of your weeks. Hopefully, you do better than I've done this weekend. And yeah, I'm gonna have to pull some out of the bag to get another top 50 finish.
Just quickly, I seen in the comments there, Nathan Wisby, he pulled out a 12th man, Mateta, 16 points so far. But he also put Pedro in as a transfer, so
nothing to do with me.
So swings and roundabouts and all that.
That's it.
Yeah, fair play. Good pick.
Yeah, I like the Mateta 12-man pick. That's what you want from it, isn't it? A nice little haul. The chip's done. But yeah.
And on that note, Hakuna Mateta.
Hakuna Mateta. Cheerio.
See ya.